Hello and welcome to Love Brand You on Win Win Women. I'm Sam Rafis, your host for this metaphysical show focused on faith and inspiration for you to succeed in all areas of your life. And last week, someone asked me, why do you love metaphysics so much? And I just had to say that because metaphysics seeks to teach and inspire the spiritual awakening and evolvement of each individual. And that has always been something I've been attracted to, the unseen. So it just means honoring all paths to God. Spiritual metaphysics is not religious. It's often often said spiritual, not religious. But metaphysics really just means honoring whatever path that you find to what you determine to be God. You may call it Holy Spirit, you may call it universe, you may call it higher power, intuition. I hear some people that just say, I'm not really spiritual or religious, I just tune into my intuition. So it's somewhat like that. And metaphysical science teaches us to be inwardly aware, and that in turn helps us to be outwardly successful. So my reason. That's my reason why I love metaphysics so much, and why I practice metaphysics, why I teach metaphysics, and why I embrace it in my coaching practice. Practice, I should say. Okay, so now you know a little bit about that. Let's get on to our weekly metaphysical prayer. As I do every week, I open with what I call the Love Brand You prayer. So if you would like, you can join me in just taking a deep breath. You can close your eyes if you want. I just read this short prayer and take it in if you like, and deep breath. My God source loves me no matter what. I am always lovable and give myself compassion for everything I've ever done or not done. Love heals me more quickly than self-judgment. I choose love now for me and for everyone in my life. For this, I give thanks. I let it be so, and so it is. Amen. Okay. So you may have, well, if you've been tuning into the show, like I said from the beginning, or if you've tuned into a few of my shows, you know that my metaphysical coaching is based on 6 areas of life, which is career, financial, health, relationships, spirituality, and well-being. So these are the 6 areas of life that when I'm working with anyone or I'm teaching, I look at all of those areas of life. And each month for Love Brand You for the show, I take one of these areas and I focus on it for the month. So this month, the theme has been relationships. And for today's show, I'm sharing what relationship coaching, so what that part of if I'm working with individuals in a life coaching area and we're talking about relationships, then today I'm just going to share a little bit more with you what relationship coaching is all about, and 5 of my tips, and you probably heard of some of them, but I'm giving you my 5 favorite tips for having better relationships. All right. So when it comes to relationship coaching, a person's ability to develop and grow relationships can affect many areas of their life, of course, um, from romantic partners to family and friends to workmates to business to all of the relationships or contexts we have in our life. And most people have trouble in learning how to relate to other people, or not most people, many people. Right? Many people, they want to have a happy family and positive relationships within their work and social environments, but sometimes it's hard to achieve those goals by yourself. So positive relationships often depend on a person's self-confidence, on healthy boundaries, good communications, and there's many facets to having good relationships. So relationship coaching, that part of what I help people with, focuses on helping you build and enhance your personal and professional relationships. So this beneficial role, it is a beneficial role, looking at my notes here, as a person's success and happiness in life largely depends on your ability to connect with others. Relationship coaching, therefore, is dedicated to working through issues surrounding relationships. And these can be from helping you identify current problems in your relationships, guidance in romantic situations, such as your spouse or life partner, how to be comfortable with yourself, working on a relationship with a family member, or helping clients relate to other important people in their life, connecting better with your boss or your coworkers, and strengthening ties to casual friends or community contacts. And when it comes to relationships, I just to give you an idea, I help clients with one or more of these following. Discovering the troubling aspects within a current relationship. We can identify issues that block successful relationships. Those could be fear, anger, low self-worth, anything that is coming up for you internally that's impacting your relationships with somebody else in your life. Relationship coaching helps you enhance your self-confidence, and it can also help you identify people that necessarily aren't a good match for you. And that could be in your love life, or it could be just in your friendships. It could be in um, uh, social contacts. I can help with relationship coaching with building stronger communication skills, develop a plan to increase self-love and happiness within single individuals. And that recently came up for me. I was actually coaching with another coach, and we were talking about relationships, and I was talking about my relationships. And I have great relationships with my kids, with my family members, with my friends. I spend a lot of time with my kids and my grandson. And at this moment in time, I don't necessarily have a relationship with a significant other. And within that coaching session with her, it was like an aha moment. And the coach and I laughed because in that moment in time, I really realized that it wasn't a priority for me right now, that my life right now is fulfilled with work, with my family, with my daughters, with my grandson, with everything else that I'm enjoying doing in my life, that for me, it's okay right now to put the love relationship on pause for now. So that was a big aha for me, because I think sometimes we think, or I did anyway, I thought that I wanted to be um, what I thought out on the dating scene, and it turns out I'm okay not doing that right now. So coaching helped me figure that out. All right. Okay, back to other areas that can help with relationship coaching. So helping you to work through communication missteps that may prevent you from having happy relationships, or creating a goal with active steps to gaining that ideal mate, or happy family, or a profitable business partner. Sometimes we work with others, whether it be in another job, or some people have business partners and there can be conflict. So getting coaching in helping you with those relationships can be beneficial. Another one here: develop steps to enhance current happy relationships, and helping divorced parents create a positive, workable co-parenting relationship. And that one is close to my heart, because being a divorced parent and raising three daughters and co-parenting successfully was really important to me and to the girl's father. And that makes a difference when you're working together. So when I can help individuals create that relationship, I'm happy to help out in that area. So relationship coaching can be instrumental in helping you relate to important people in your life. So I always like to say, imagine enjoying more peaceful, enjoyable, intimate, whether it be a love partner, or whether it may be closer, intimate relationships with friends and family. Imagine how much more that can lead to happy, successful personal and professional life. And from a metaphysical standpoint, your relationship with anyone is more about how you think about them, not your interaction with them. I just want you to think about that for a second. So we talk a lot about thoughts and how important our thoughts are, especially in the metaphysical teachings, that thoughts are at the base of everything. I've said it many times, many times. Um, Nothing is good or bad, only thinking makes it so. And that comes from Shakespeare. I think that was in Hamlet. Um, but it's true. It's our thoughts about it actually create what we manifest. So you can literally change your interactions with anyone by thinking about them in the way that you want the relationship to be. Does it happen overnight? No, it's not. It's something like, I like to draw parallels that if you're trying to create a healthier diet, then you have to eat healthier for a sustained period of time. If you're trying to um, develop your cardio, or develop your body and be stronger physically, it takes time, because you have to create the habit, practice the habit, and make it part of your lifestyle. So it's the same as how we want our interactions with others to be. And just to give you an example of how you think about someone. And I remember a few years ago when I had a neighbor that everyone sort of referred to this man as the grumpy neighbor, and no one really talked to him. No, he didn't really want to talk to anybody else. And at the time, I just thought, you know what? I am just gonna say hi to him every time I see him. I'm gonna say hi. I'm gonna smile. I'm going to act as if he is happy to see me. And I kept practicing this every time I'd see him. Wouldn't necessarily see him every day, but I would just say, hello, and I'd give a good smile and wave. And I know sometimes he ignored me. Sometimes he looked at me like I was a little bit crazy, like, who is this person that keeps saying hello and I really don't want any interaction with her. And I can't remember how many, let's just say it took 2 or 3 months. I can't remember because this was quite a few years ago. However, his relationship with me changed because I guess I was just that persistent person that was bound and determined to have him say hi to me. And after that, we always just said hi to each other. Did we become real close friends? No, but we actually had a good relationship when we'd say hi. And I think even one of my other neighbors had said to me at one point when I walked by and we waved at each other and said hi. And she kind of gave me a look and she was like, "He says hi to you?" And I said, "Yeah, he does." So just something to think about and just something that you might want to try. But I like doing that, and I like testing out my laws of the universe for what I learn in all of my metaphysical studies. All right, so let's get to my 5 tips for better relationships. This again is a metaphysical concept that I like to tell everyone I'm working with, and I use it for myself. I share it with my girls, and sometimes, you can think about it, your kids, sometimes my girls kind of laugh at me or roll their eyes, but sometimes they say too, "Well, hey, mom, what you told me, it works." So my number one tip for better relationships is mentally send love to everyone. And by that, I mean anyone that you come into contact with, and it could be your family, it could be friends, it could be anyone that you come into contact with throughout the day, and especially if you're having difficulty with someone, especially if you're, say, you had a disagreement, or say you you're you're mad at someone, or you feel like someone did you wrong, or you feel like they think you did them wrong. You can just think about it in your mind, feel how it feels in your heart for that person. So obviously we have different feelings of love for our children, for my grandson, for um, a coworker, for an acquaintance. So you have these different types of love. So whatever that love feeling is, if it's love for your child, then bring up, and it's your child that's in front of you, I should say. So it's matching, who that different person is, because, maybe you had a disagreement with your sibling, and now they're standing in front of you, and you might have those feelings of, I'm not happy with them, or maybe they're not happy with you. So this first tip that I'm saying, mentally give them love, just do that. They don't even have to know, but in your mind, what does loving that person feel like? How does that thought of love, what's the feeling? So mentally give off those feelings of love, and just focus on your heart. Focus on your heart and give what I call the vibration of love to that person, and just try it. Just try it. And that's all I say with these types of tips. You have to try it for yourself, and oftentimes it takes more than just one time. So just try it and practice it. All right, that's tip number one. Tip number two, and this one you've heard. This is one of the biggest communication tips. Listen. We've all heard the saying, you've got 2 ears, so listen twice as much, speak less, listen twice. However, part of listen is listen to better hear the person, listen to understand, ask questions, really listen when someone is talking to you at the like we live in the we live in the world right now where we are all not the best listeners. We're trying to do two things at once. We're trying to um, listen to people and do something else. Um, I don't know about you, but I've been on these kind of Zoom meetings, or I've been in sessions where I'm trying to work and listen at the same time. And I would hazard a guess that we all do it. However, if you are trying to improve your relationships and have better communication with anyone or get closer to anyone, then just really focus on listening when someone is talking to you. And we do it with our kids. Sometimes I I'm guilty of it myself, and a daughter will be talking to me, and then I just have to remind myself, okay, wait a second, I really do want to listen to what they're saying, and listen, make eye contact. And I mean, in some cultures, maybe it's not direct eye contact. We have to be careful of that. There are some cultures that don't necessarily make direct eye contact, but if it's someone in my life that we do that, I try to make eye contact with them and nod, pay attention, give those minimal encouragers like, uh-huh, I can hear you, and do what you can. Do what you can to stop yourself from interrupting. Oftentimes, we are hearing what people are saying, and instead of listening to get to the deeper meaning of what individuals are trying to share with us, lots of times we're listening to respond. So we're not necessarily listening, we're waiting to get to our response, or what I call one upping. So many times in conversation now, someone might be saying a story or trying to share something with us, and it reminds us of something that happened in our life. So someone is saying something, and then we one up them by, oh yeah, I remember when that happened to me, and then sharing our story. And sometimes it might not be appropriate. Sometimes it might just be that the person just needs us to listen and share what they need to with us. Uh, so number one, send love. Number two, listen, listen to hear and understand. Number three, don't judge or make assumptions. And that one's a tough one sometimes. It's we live in, again, we live in the society where we're all looking at each other and trying to assess ourselves, and sometimes it's hard not to put judgment on ourselves or on others. If you can strive for that as much as possible, though, I I can almost guarantee that you'll definitely have better relationships, and you'll feel better, and the people that you're surrounded with will feel that from you when someone is not feeling like they're being judged by you. And I always um, I was looking for my note here because I knew I had it. Don Miguel Ruiz, who wrote the Four Agreements, I just wanted to make a note, and I wanted to just give his second agreement because it fits in nice here with when I was saying don't judge or make assumptions, because his second agreement is don't make assumptions. All right. So he says, find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and drama. With just this one agreement, you can completely transform your life. And that's from The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. So the second agreement. All right. Number 4, be flexible and supportive. And I say be flexible because oftentimes, I don't know about you, but I know um, I I can often have many things planned, whether it be with my kids, whether it be family members, friends. Oftentimes, we might make plans and we think we think we can get more fit in a day, or we think that we're going to be able to meet someone for lunch, or we've made all these plans. And sometimes when it actually comes time to doing something, maybe we're overtired, maybe we're just overwhelmed, maybe we've just put too much on our proverbial plate, and we have good intentions. We have good intentions of being with that individual or spending time with them. And when it actually comes along, something might happen, something might interrupt what we intended to do. So give yourself grace, give the other person grace, be flexible if plans have to change. Sometimes people are running late, and I know it's a fine line. It's a fine line to, be um, the person that's chronically running late and being disrespectful. There's a difference between that and needing just some grace sometimes to not maybe keep an engagement that maybe we just need to take care of ourselves, or maybe we need a rest, or maybe the other person does. Maybe we wanted to spend some time with that individual, and then it doesn't happen. And sometimes it can be disappointing. However, if we look at it in terms of what's the best for that relationship, is this really going to be impactful in my relationship? What's the outcome of this, or what outcome do I want? So if you can be flexible and supportive, because let's remember, most people are trying their very best. We're hardest on ourselves. So if we can give ourselves some grace, just give it for ourselves and for other people. And part of this, part of this, remember, unless you are asked for feedback, resist pointing out when someone has made a mistake, or maybe you want to point something out. However, if the person hasn't asked you, then try to try to resist from pointing out anyone's mistakes, because most of the time we all know when we've made mistakes. All right. Number 5, be present. Be present in the moment. Slow down. Enjoy whatever you are doing, whoever you are with. Look for ways to enjoy that interaction with the person, with whatever relationship it is. So again, if it's your significant other, look for what is good in the relationship, what is going well, as much as you can. If it's your kids, I know as parents, we like to make sure that our kids are doing okay, and we like to be directive. We like to know what we're doing. We like to guide them, um, keep them from making some of the mistakes we made. There's so many things as a parent that we think of, yet if we look at the fact that our kids they're individuals too, and they are trying their best. So when I'm I'm with my daughters or my grandson, I know I'm very cognizant of the fact of, okay, if I'm going to say something, is this necessary in the moment? Am I being too directive? Am I saying too much? I mean, they're at the age now where they really are in charge of their own life. So do I want that relationship where it's a supportive mom, or do I want to be the mom that's always telling them what to do? So I know it's hard. I know it's hard. Sometimes it's hard for me not to. Um, However, I know when I relax and say I trust that I've done my job. I trust that their dad's done his job, and I'm here to love them and support them and just be with them. And we just have fun. And it's the same with my grandson, my 2-year-old grandson. Anybody that knows me, he's the light of my life. He's my number one guy that I tell everyone. And right now it's just important for me just to be with him whenever I can. And we just enjoy. I just enjoy being with him. He gets to direct it. And usually we're going to be spending time outside, and we're walking and finding puddles, or we're going to the park and we are um, running around. So for me, the relationship with the people in my life, I do strive for these 5 points that I'm sharing. So I work on, or consciously, I consciously think about, okay, I just want to be with them. I'm going to listen. I'm doing my best to not make assumptions, to not judge. I'm doing my best to be flexible and supportive in my relationships and to be present and just enjoy. So if you can try those 5 tips, I encourage you even just to start with one. And as I do each week as well, I look for a quote that's applicable for today's show theme. And Wayne Dyer is one of my many favorites in the metaphysical world. And Wayne Dyer says, "How people treat you is their karma. How you react is yours." So, my action step tip for you today is focus on one of the 5 tips that I gave you. Focus on one tip and try it for 30 days. Every day, focus on whether is it are you going to practice listening more actively to people and not interrupting and not correcting? Is that something that you know you have to, or not have to, that you'd like to work on? Or just the one I said at first is just the simple act of sending love out to people in your life. And the blanket one that I always talk about is just focusing on your heart and sending love out to the universe. Okay, so we're at that time. We're at the time of the closing affirmation. So I invite you to check out lovebrandyou.com if you want to know more about me and more about my teaching and coaching. I invite you to go there and get a hold of me. Like I said, I love hearing from people. So I invite you to go to lovebrandyou.com. And for today's closing affirmation, I affirm that as I vibrate love out to others, I attract love in all its many forms from others, and my relationships are loving, peaceful, and joyous. For this I give thanks. I let it be so, and so it is. Amen.